Beginner gardeners, what's going on? Elder J, O McWaller. Still trying to get over the sickness, y'all. Y'all be patient with me. I was about to start my seeds, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. But I wanted to talk to you guys about some other things real quick. The cost of gardening. Now, of course, it depends on how much you're going to be growing, how big your garden is. There is a cost associated to gardening. If you're doing raised beds, if you saw my video on the contrasting the three major methods, the in-ground, raised bed, or container gardening, you can see that there are differences in costs that can, depending on what you're doing. But also, there's just general costs that come up in gardening itself. So for me, for example, starting off my seeds, I buy these seed growing containers, I buy seeds, I buy different little things like that. All of those things add up. But what I want to tell you guys is gardening, the cost is relative to what you want to do. And there's always cheaper ways to do what you want to do. So the general rule is if you're going to go out and you're buying gardening stuff, a lot of times if it's specifically for the garden, it might cost more. A lot of times I save money by buying things that are not meant for the garden, but using them in the garden. Now, I do use a lot of things that are specifically for the garden. You got your tools and things like that, but there are ways that you can actually save by using products. One of the things I've noticed when I first started, I bought everything that said garden. But as I started to watch more and more people who were doing it, one of the things you want to do is you want to recycle, use materials over and over again, or and materials that may not necessarily be for the garden, but you can actually use them. And then when you have your gardening stuff, try to take care of it, because you can purchase something 1 year, and if you take care of it, you can use these things over and over and over again. So let me give you an example. So 1 year, my wife wanted some flowers out front. So we went to a what are they called? One of those garden places. And so I was buying, like, flowers, because I'm into growing vegetables. I'm not really into growing flowers because, see, vegetables give me something back. Flowers are just okay. They're pretty to look at. So I did that for her. But you go out there and you buy these things, and then some of you have done this. You bought these things and you take them out of here, and then you put them in your yard, in the ground, in your flower beds or whatever. But what you would normally do is you toss these. See, when you're gardening, you keep stuff like this. Why? Because I could actually reuse this. I can, when I'm starting seeds or something like that, I can actually use something like this. I got tons of these things, different sizes. Different sizes, right? I use these when I'm growing my actual seeds. So I'll put soil in here, put my seeds in here, and just like that, I saved myself some money. So that $5.99 that I paid for a particular flower or something like that, it's giving me more value than just that flower. You know what I'm saying? Some of you had grown flowers inside your house. So they have a larger pot. The flower may have died, or somebody gave you a plant for Mother's Day or something like that, and you had it on your table and it was all beautiful, or you were in the hospital and somebody had some get well flowers sent to you and they were nice and beautiful. They died. You know what you did? You threw all of it out. No, keep all that. Different sizes, keep all that. I think I probably purchased this one in my first year of gardening. I purchased this pot to actually do some growing. I grew some chives or something. No, I grew a mint plant in here my first year gardening inside the house. Now, check this out. I paid for this. Probably paid $7, $8 for this. For the plant that somebody gave my wife or me, or I don't even know where this came from, it's the same size. For free if I keep it. So that's one of the things. Let me show you something else. I grow potatoes. Got some potatoes, and these things started to, do like everybody else. You guys forgive me. Forgive me real quick. Let me show you. Y'all know what happens. You had a couple potatoes. You left them on the counter too long. They began to do all this. I'm trying to get out the sun. The sun is moving. They start doing all this stuff, right? Giving you all those eyes. What do? You toss them. See, we don't toss these. We keep these because we're going to actually grow potatoes. This is how I grow my potatoes. I don't pay additional for seed potatoes. You can if you can get them cheap enough, but if you don't have to, sometimes I'll do it at the end of the season, because at the end of the season you might be able to get a bag of seed potatoes for 50 cents. Like I get my onions and garlic, they like 50 cents. So at the end of the season, I'll show you guys when and where to get those at the end of the season. This is at the beginning of the season. 50 cents, you can go ahead and pick those up. But if you're going to get something like this, you already bought these. You already had a few potatoes. You already made a few home fries, and you had a couple left in the bag. And those couple started to do this, and you said, I don't want to eat that, and you just threw it in the trash. Hold on to that. I'll show you guys what to do with this, but for now, just keep it in the cold garage, on your cold porch. I'm on my porch, and this porch is not insulated. It gets cold out here, and it gets super hot out here in the summertime, right? So right now it's cool outside. We're actually having a pretty warm day today. It's actually about almost 60 degrees outside. But that's only going to be, I think it was good this weekend, but that's going to go away soon. This week we're going to be in like the 30s. So, done. Let me show you. These are a bunch of those flower pots that I was showing you guys. When I water these things, and I'll show you guys this more in the seed video, but I don't water these things normally from the top. What I do is I water from the bottom. So I'll put water in a tray that these things sit in, and the way the soil works, it'll suck up the water from the bottom and just feed the plant that way. But you see this tray that my stuff is in? This is nothing but an old cookie sheet, but it has enough depth to it that I can fill this thing up with water, and I can feed all these 8 plants here from a cookie sheet. You can buy a cookie sheet at the dollar store. I use a ton of things from the dollar store. Let me show you. See, something like this. I'll show you when I do my seed video stuff you can do. This is nothing but a water jug. I cut the top off. I'll show you about that later. This is just a regular old bowl, got from the dollar store. This is what I use to help grow my potatoes in. You just keep this stuff. How many of you have seen these before? If you went to the flower shop and bought a whole bunch of flowers, they would normally put everything on this tray here so it's easy for you to carry. Sometimes if you have a produce store near you, you'll see these in the trash can. You know what? I keep this stuff. Why? And then when I show you guys how to grow carrots from in containers, one, when I'm taking, say I got these 8 trays here and I'm taking them to the garden, right? It is easier if I carry them, put those things in here to make it easier for me to carry. But you know what else I use this thing for? I use this as a sifter. See all those holes? When I'm trying to sift soil to make sure there's no hard rocks or anything like that, I pour the soil through this for free. Now you can go and buy a garden grate or something like that, and it's going to cost you. So you try to figure out ways to save costs by using materials that weren't necessarily supposed to be used for the garden. I'll show you a few of these things that I do in the seed video, but I'm going to show you just one last thing. So say you wanted to do container gardening. Now you can go and get one of these bad boys. This bad boy is beautiful. I got this bad boy on sale, but it's beautiful. All you gotta do is put some holes in it. You can see how much I paid for this thing. $12. The numbers are backwards, but I paid a little less than $12. So I might have paid $9 for this, right? Because I got them on sale. $9. Look at that. See the hole size? $9, real nice and pretty. I can put this out front of my house if I wanted to. But you can pay $9, or you can just get a 5-gallon bucket. That can cost you anywhere from $1.75, $2 to tops $5. You can grow the same amount of stuff. Do you know this size? I can grow any tomato I want in this. That's the largest thing that the average person is going to be growing in their home is a tomato. This right here. So for the price that I paid for that, let's say I paid $10 for that, I could get 2 of those $5-gallon buckets. So I just wanted to tell you guys, it's a good thing I stay at the dollar store. Most of the stuff I get from my garden, I use it. I get it from from the dollar store. I get some things from big box stores like Walmart and Home Depot. Especially the things I like to show you guys because I don't want to have, if it's just on some little specialty shop on the corner. I mean, most places won't have those, but you guys have Walmart, you guys have Home Depots, you have Dollar Generals or Family Dollars or some kind of dollar store near you, Dollar Tree. Those places, most of the things I'm going to show you guys, that's where you can buy all your stuff. There's no need for you to pay top dollar. Try to be innovative. Try to save everything that you can. Try to reuse much as what you can. All of those things actually help our environment as well. The more you recycle using these products over and over again. See, by me using those planters over and over again, I just saved them from going to be in the landfill somewhere, right? And I will use them and take care of them. And as long as I don't break them and they don't crack up, I can use those for years and years and years. So try your best to save costs by being innovative, reusing plastic materials and things like that over and over again. All right, stay tuned for the video. I'm going to show you guys on how to start how I do my seeds indoors. All right, peace.